Hello, this is Philip Nichols, and on this channel, we look at science and culture from a Christian perspective. And I post twice a month. In this video, we are going to look at a question, and this question is good for both pro-life, pro-choice, and even people who don't know where they are. Because if you answer this question honestly, you will know exactly where you stand on this topic. And this question is, when does human life begin? And to show you an example, I'll use myself. I am pro-life. I answer this question with life begins at conception. And to show you why this is the question that makes me sure exactly where I am on this topic, no matter what argument someone might throw at me. I chose the most common and difficult arguments that pro-choice people can throw at me. The first one is very common, and is that if someone is raped, they should have the choice to either keep the baby or abort it. Now this makes no sense if human life begins at conception, because if it does, this is its own person and has nothing to do with the person who raped. And they are just as much of a victim as the mother. So why would someone who has something terrible happen to them, why should they have the right to do something worse to someone else? The next argument is women's rights matter. We need to give women's rights to choose when they get to reproduce. I should also say women already do have the choice to reproduce. Aside from the few cases that do have to do with rape, women know what's at stake when they make the choice. They know. They're not stupid. And this is pretty important, you would think, but I will throw this out. I mean, as a Christian, we should choose when to reproduce. We should only have sex after marriage. And of course, if you find a good partner and you wait to have sex until you're married, you shouldn't run into this problem at all. But if someone makes a mistake and ends up pregnant, and it is a human life in their belly, that immediately gives them rights because they are just as human. Now, if you really think about it, this makes pro-life, pro-choice, and pro-life. Because if you kill them, you take away all the choices in their life, their choice to reproduce included. And half of the people who are aborted are women themselves. The next argument is that we should be allowed to abort people who could be born in a poor situation, in a poor family. And this is obviously ridiculous to me because I know very many people who have had kids or are kids or do have kids in tough situations, and they could be so much better if they just killed their kids. Actually, unfortunately, some people do that around the world and some in the United States even. And it's not good at all, even though it gives them more money and a more luxurious life. It is not okay. Life over money, life over better food, life over a better house, life over better stuff, life over any of that. I think people would agree, unless maybe you are addicted to nicer things. Think about people who are illegal immigrants from like Mexico, for example, coming to the United States. They don't have a home, they don't have stuff, they have a tough life. That doesn't give people the right to kill them. And I think people from every side agrees with this. Some people think we should keep them in the United States. Some people think that we should put them back in Mexico. But either side doesn't think, or I hope they don't think, that we should just start machine gunning them down and saying that their life is hard, they'd rather be dead, because that is their choice, not ours. Another argument that's basically the same or similar is that they might notice a disease in the child before they are born, And I could use myself as an example. If my mom knew I had epilepsy before I was born, that did not give her the right to kill me because my life could be better without epilepsy. That doesn't make any sense at all. A lot of people with disabilities want to live. We shouldn't have an outright slaughter on them because they aren't being productive for the country or whatnot. They are just as human as anybody else. So if you are a human being at conception, no argument makes sense. It just doesn't work at all. It just doesn't. So I think this is an important question for everyone to ask so that they know where they stand on the subject. And this is one of the most meaningful subjects to me. So if there is enough interest, or I might do it anyway, I will probably post a video sometime in the future about why I believe human lives begin at conception. But when and if I do make it, I'll put it in the link below. But until my next video, I will see you guys.